What? Still in Durham. Over by. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Triangle Center for Spiritual Living. My name's Barbara Kane, and I'm a practitioner with Centers for Spiritual Living, an international denomination, and I am so happy that you're here to join me for this morning's meditation. And what I'll do is I'll do a reading, and it's from 365 Ernest Holmes, and then we'll go into silent meditation for about 15 minutes, and then I'll do a blessing after that. And then it'll be just a few minutes till our regular service, which begins at 10:15. Today's reading is, I am rich with the richness of God. The divine will never fail me so long as I have implicit faith in it. If I feel myself getting caught in fear and doubt, I take time to reaffirm my union with the great outflowing givingness of life. I take time for prayer and meditation. In this way, I am always receptive to the gift of abundance that God has already made. And so now I invite you to take a deep breath and let it out, and close your eyes if you're comfortable, and we'll begin our silent meditation. Your attention back into your bodies and into your rooms. And when you're comfortable, you can open your eyes. And I apologize for the little kerfuffle with the music in the beginning, but it did remind me that as soon as the regular music came on, my body started to relax. And I thought to myself, it might be good to share that if you're struggling with your meditation practice, that having something familiar like that will help your body and your nervous system fall back into that path of relaxation that you're building up. And it really will help advance your meditation practice. So I just wanted to share that with you. And so I'll complete our meditation practice this morning with a reading. Today I accept the gift of God's abundance. Everything that I am and that I have is increased by it. I identify everything I do with success. I think affirmatively, and in all my prayers I accept abundance. Whatever I need, whenever I need it, wherever I need it, for as long as I need it, will always be at hand. I am no longer seeing negation or delay or stagnation in my endeavors. The action of living spirit makes everything I do prosper increases every good I possess, and brings success to me and everyone I meet. The world is mine and the fullness thereof. Today I expect the more abundant life. I keep my thought open to new experiences and opportunities for greater expression. As I share and give of myself to life, the one life pours its bounty upon me. As life finds a fuller outlet through me, I discover a betterment in everything I do, a higher realization of the richness that is God. And so it is. See everybody at 10:15.
Shining is you and me. One love, loving is you and me. 'Cause God is all there is. One life living is you and me. One light shining is you and me. One love, loving is you and me. 'Cause God is all there is. I'm shining from the inside out. I'm so happy. I just want to shout. One life living is you and me. One light shining is you and me. One love loving is you and me. 'Cause God is all there is. One life living is you and me. One light shining is you and me. One love loving is you and me. 'Cause God is all there is. I'm shining from the inside out. I'm so happy. I just want to shout. One life living is you and me. One light shining is you and me. One love loving is you and me. 'Cause God is all there is. One life living is you and me. One light shining is you and me. One love loving is you and me. 'Cause God is all there is. Oh yeah. Come on. All right. One light shining is you and me. One love loving is you and me. 'Cause God is all there is. One life living is you and me. One light shining is you and me. One love loving is you and me. 'Cause God is all there is. I'm shining from the inside out. I'm so happy. I just want to shout. One life living is you and me. One light shining is you and me. One love loving is you and me. 'Cause God is all there is. One life living is you and me. One light shining is you and me. One love loving is you and me. 'Cause God is all there is. I'm shining from the inside out. I'm so happy. I just want to shout. One life living is you and me. One light shining is you and me. One love loving is you and me. 'Cause God is all there is. One life living is you One light shining, it's you and me. One love, loving, it's you and me. 'Cause God is all there is. One life living, it's you and me. One light shining, it's you and me. One love, loving, it's you and me. 'Cause God is all there is. I'm shining from the inside out. I'm so happy, I just wanna shout. One life living is you and me. One light shining is you and me. One love loving is you and me. 'Cause God is all there is. One life living is you and me. One light shining is you and me. One love loving is you and me. 'Cause God is all there is. I'm shining from the inside out. I'm so happy, I just wanna shout. One life living is you and me. One light shining is you and me. One love loving is you and me. 'Cause God is all there is. One life living is you and me. One light shining is you and me. One love loving is you and me. 'Cause God is all there is. Oh yeah. One light shining is you and me. One love loving is you and me. 'Cause God is all there is. One life living is you and me. One light shining is you and me. One love loving is you and me. 'Cause God is all there is. I'm shining from the inside out. I'm so happy, I just wanna shout. One life living is you and me. One light shining is you and me. One love loving is you and me. 'Cause God is all there is. One life living is you and me. One light shining is you and me. One love loving is you and me. 'Cause God is all there is. I'm shining.
Good morning, everyone. Woo, love that. Great energy. Welcome to the Triangle Center for Spiritual Living. For those of you who is your first time here, welcome. Welcome. We're so very glad that you have joined us. And we're glad that everyone has joined us, whether you're here at 4 Points live and in the sanctuary, or whether you have invited us into your homes for today's service. We're very glad that you are part of it. I can feel your energy out there. I know that you are there. And so just welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. For those of you who may not know me, my name is Dusty Rippelmeyer, and I have the honor and the privilege of being this community's spiritual director. We're part of a larger organization called Centers for Spiritual Living. And at Centers for Spiritual Living, we believe that there is one power and presence back of everything that there is. It is not a God that is outside of us, up on some cloud somewhere, doling out punishments and rewards at whim, but an inner presence, an inner loving presence that is everywhere at all times, in its fullness and in its wholeness, always ready, willing, and able to give us the kingdom of heaven on earth. Since we were created in its image and likeness out of God's stuff itself, then since God is creative, then we too are creative. And in fact, we have been creating the experiences of our lives, all of our lives, whether we have been doing that consciously or unconsciously. And so we gather together on Sundays and Wednesday evenings and for classes and workshops and for social events to remind each other of the truth, to remind each other who we are, and to be a space of love and acceptance and really supporting each other as we walk this spiritual path. So thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting us, and welcome to our community today. We're very glad that you're here. I have a couple of announcements, and the first is that Lunch Bunch next Sunday. Always we have Lunch Bunch on the first Sunday of the month, an opportunity to go out and break bread together in a restaurant nearby. Will be at Roots Guatemalan Grill at 962B Airport Boulevard in Morrisville. So if you would like to join us, please contact Heather at info@trianglecsl.org and let us know how many people will be joining us so that we can make arrangements with the restaurant for Sunday. The second is just a reminder about our holiday bazaar. It's coming up. It is Sunday, November 12th, following service. It's an opportunity for you all to begin to get some holiday shopping done, and to do it in a place where there's going to be all these really creative and wonderful, one-of-a-kind things that you cannot get anywhere else. Because what we have amassed is a group of people who are artisans, who are creative, who have created some really wonderful things, and they will be here and they will be sharing their wares with us and selling them. So there's all kinds of items underneath one roof, and you don't have to battle the crowds at the mall. Artwork, woodworking, food, holiday decor, crafts, books, and music, spiritual items, apparel, and so much more. So please consider joining us. We open, the bazaar will open at noon, and we're expecting a large crowd, so get there early so you can get the stuff that you really want to purchase. If you have any questions regarding that or want any additional information, call Heather, email Heather Abbott, or call the organizer, Eileen Proctor, at 919-526-0206. And another announcement is just a save the date for our Roots class. This course provides the students with an understanding of the historical roots in America of the Ernest Holmes philosophy, The Science of Mind. Specific emphasis is given to the works of Thomas Troward, Emma Curtis Hopkins, and Ralph Waldo Emerson. The text is The Science of Mind by Ernest Holmes, the Emerson's essays by Ralph Waldo Emerson, the Edinburgh Lectures on Mental Science by Thomas Troward, and Scientific Christian Mental Practice by Emma Curtis Hopkins. It's a certified CSL course and is required if you wish to go on the path towards becoming a practitioner. The prerequisite is a completion of the foundations class, so you have to have had that in order to take this class. Class tuition is $245, and payment plans are absolutely available. We do not wish to turn anyone away because of finances, so please consider joining us for that, and you could register on at our website, or you can connect with Heather at information at info@trianglecsl.org. So we do have a flower dedication today, and the flower dedication is from Ava Ingram and the entire TSL community, and it is for Heather Abbott on the occasion of her birthday. Ava says, Heather, your love and light illuminate this entire community with every thought you think, every deed you do, and every person you uplift with just your presence. You are the true definition of be the change you wish to see in the world. Your tenacious attitude that overcomes all obstacles is truly inspiring, especially in the most challenging times. Your love for this community is what keeps it going and fuels every endeavor. You are the glue that keeps it all together and the engine that makes everything run smoothly behind the scenes. We couldn't be more grateful for all that you do for the center. The person you are is so full of love and light, so giving of your time and energy, and so generous with your smiles, hugs, and prayers as well. We love you with all of our hearts and just want you to know how much you are adored and appreciated for who you are and all that you do for us. Love, Ava and TCSL. And speaking of appreciation, I would like to speak a word of gratitude to Barbara Kane for her beautiful meditation that enlarged the container that our service will unfold within. So thank you very much, Babs. And speaking of Babs, let's welcome her back to the podium.
Good morning again, everyone.
Good morning.
I'm now going to read, I'm sorry, I started at the wrong place. The theme for the year is 2023, Living Out Loud. Our theme for the month of October is Playing with Paradox. Reverend Dusty's talk title is The Prosperity Paradox, Prove Me Now. And now I'm going to read this community's purpose statement. This is our reason for being here. Our purpose is to inspire, educate, and empower individuals to experience themselves as unique and individualized expressions of God, the love intelligence that governs the universe. We are committed to not merely a theoretical understanding of our oneness and unity with God, but to consciously practice this truth in our everyday lives. Through celebration, service, study, and fellowship, we are committed to the transformation of our personal lives and to being a powerful and beneficial presence on the planet. With the energy of unconditional love, simply, we are here for God. And now I invite you to close your eyes and turn within and open your heart and mind and allow the healing sounds of the crystal bowls to simply wash over you. Bree and Carol to join me here at the front. The Triangle Center for Spiritual Living honors the diversity and threads of truth that run through all spiritual paths as represented by this ceremony. Christianity is the path of Christ consciousness, love, and forgiveness. Buddhism is the path of compassion and understanding. Judaism is the ethical path of living by sacred law. Baha'i is the path of unity and peace. Islam is the path of submission to the will of God, the highest calling. Confucianism is the path of deliberate tradition. Taoism is the natural path, the way of ultimate reality. Native American practice and shamanic traditions are the paths of primal spirituality. Shintoism is the path of tribal ancestry. Hinduism is the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. Science of mind and spirit is the path of the divine principle of love and law. And the heart represents the one heart, the one love that resides at the center of all people and all beings everywhere, with no exceptions. May peace prevail on earth through the followers of all paths. And so it is.
So it is.
Thank you, Bree and Carol. And now I invite you to close your eyes one more time as I speak a blessing on the service this morning. And so I recognize that the infinite presence of love and light, that infinite intelligence that guides us and guards us, is in, as, and through each one of us this morning. And inside of that, I speak a blessing on our service this morning, knowing that being here is something that serves everyone, here and out in our audience, everyone that's a part of our spiritual community. I speak a blessing on the volunteers, for without them, this would not be possible. and my gratitude goes to each of them. I speak a blessing on Reverend Dusty as she brings her magnificent self to the podium, and knowing that she blesses us all with her love, her intuition, her intelligence, and that she is also blessed in this delivery and in this time of service. I speak a blessing on Miles and Latha as they bring their beautiful, uplifting gift of song and the lifting of spirit that this blesses us all with. And I speak a blessing on our wonderful congregation, knowing that you are an expression of the love of God in the world. And I release this word into the law of love, and so it is. The reading for today is from Catherine Ponder in her book, The Dynamic Laws of Prosperity. She says, "The ancient prosperity law is this: true prosperity has a spiritual basis. God is the source of your supply. Your mind, body, abilities, talents, education, experience, job, or profession are all instruments and channels of your prosperity, but God is the source. Therefore, you must do something definite and consistent with that rich source if you want to be constantly prospered." And so it is for sure. And now I'd like to introduce our musicians, Miles and Latha Costin. I'm so excited. Yay!
All right, some of y'all will know this, so feel free to join in. You can start by giving us a little snap. Got a great job and good friends too. Plenty of money and plenty of fun things to do. I got the prosperity blues. If you gotta have the blues, the good ones to choose. I got a family's friendly and perfect mix. Wonderful wardrobe as good as it gets. I got the prosperity blues. Prosperity I've got a beautiful house and it's got such a beautiful yard. I cruise through the city in my beautiful car. I got the prosperity blues. And if that's not enough, I've got more good news. We're talking loads of laughs and scrumptious cuisine and travel to so many places that I've seen in magazines. I've got the prosperity blues. Prosperity Here we go. Happiness and health, external and internal wealth, joy that overflows, serenity that shows, and I got clear communications with my love relations, an abundance of time, life feels so fine with those prosperity blues. Prosperity blues, they got the prosperity blues. Prosperity blues, they got the prosperity blues.
Thank you very much, Miles and Letha. What a great way to begin the day, taking a few moments to be aware of, grateful for, and proclaim the good that we already have in our lives, because each and every one of us is already abundant in so many different ways. And the way to bring even more abundance in our lives is to be grateful for it, to be aware of it and grateful for it. So thank you very much for that beautiful reminder. Whoops. Now, over the course of this last month, we have been talking about playing with paradox. And during our Wednesday evening services, we have been talking about prosperity. And I really felt called today to bring the two of them together, to mix them up a little bit in something that I would call the prosperity paradox. Now, on one hand, we say that God is our source, and on the other hand, we look to external things to give us our good. On one hand, we believe that God is the presence of unlimited possibility, while on the other hand, we believe in this idea of the trance of scarcity. On one hand, there is the bounty of God itself everywhere that we look, but on the other hand, we experience lack and limitation in our everyday lives. This is the prosperity paradox. Now, spirituality is full of paradox. And yet Ernest Holmes taught that it is possible to see and to live our lives from both perspectives simultaneously. That our objective experience of the world in form, the experiences of our lives is real. We can't deny it. We can't be Pollyanna-ish and sweep it underneath a rug. It is real. We are going through it. We are experiencing it. And this idea of both and back of that experience is the truth, the spiritual truth, that there is one power and presence back of everything that there is, everything seen and unseen, and that presence is all that there is. And that presence is good, and very, very good. Now, the word bounty literally means that it's given generously. So when there is a great harvest that really yields a lot of food, this is an example of nature's bounty. God's bounty then would be everything that is generously given to us by God. It's God's nature to give. It is its nature to give, and it is constantly giving, not just when we first arrived on the planet, but each and every single day. It is its nature to give, and as Emerson once said, we cannot outgive God. We cannot. Now, the underlying truth is that everywhere we look, just think about it, all the stars in the sky, the grains of sand, the textures and the colors in nature itself. God's bounty is everywhere we look around our universe. We can't help but notice the bounty that is present. The issue that we have, however, is that when we do not really focus on all of that bounty, when we do not focus on the abundance that is present, we fail to recognize it. Our awareness of it falls out of our consciousness, and we can no longer see it. We can no longer really find it. We can no longer experience it. But the truth is that this bounty, this beauty, this prosperity, this abundance, this wealth is always there. It is always there, like the sun hiding behind the clouds. It is always there, always around us. And the only thing that prevents us from seeing it is our own consciousness. There's a saying that says, I will, and maybe you've heard yourself say it a couple of times or two, but I will believe it when I see it. However, the truth for me is that I will see it when I believe it. I will see it when I believe it. It is done unto you as you believe. So we create our outer lives, the world of form, from our inner state. And when we begin to really concentrate and focus on the beauty, the magnificence, the prosperity, the abundance, and the wealth that is everywhere present all around us, we attract more of it into our lives. It comes into our lives, pressed down and spilling over. So, if the fundamental truth is that God's bounty is all around us, why is it that we don't always experience that in our lives? Tell me now. You tell me. First, let's look at what gets in the way. And for me, 3 things come up today. And this kind of is this idea of the trance of scarcity, right? So the first is there's not enough to go around. This idea that we have in our minds that there is not enough to go around. Somebody is going to be left out. If there's not enough room for everyone, then taking care of ourselves and our own, right, even at someone else's expense, seems unfortunate, but unavoidable and somehow valid. With a mindset such as this, we live our lives from a consciousness of lack and limitation, and because that is where our focus is, we of course draw more lack and limitation into our lives. The second idea is that more is better. More is better. This drives a competitive culture of accumulation, acquisition, and greed. This distracts us from really living more mindfully and richfully with what we already have. Our drive to enlarge our net worth turns us away from discovering and really deepening our inner worth. With a mindset such as this, we're always judging and comparing ourselves to others and miss out on all of the abundance that is already in our lives. And the third is, that's just the way that it is, and there's no way out. Nothing can be changed. Now, there's not enough to go around. More is definitely better, and the people who have more are always all the other people, and not me. We might be hearing ourselves say, I am not abundant, I am not prosperous, and nothing will ever change that. That's just the way that it is. It's the way I grew up, it's the way I'm evolved, and nothing is ever going to change that. With a mindset such as this, we are continually bringing our past into our present. Principle, or God, is not bound by precedent. It doesn't matter what happened before. This moment is new, with unlimited possibilities. Now, with any of these 3 ideas or beliefs in our consciousness, knowing that we live our lives from the inside out, is there any wonder why we're not experiencing the presence of God's bounty every day, every moment of every day? And what can we do about it? Right? That's why you came, right? Is why you came today. What can we do about it? Now, there's many different prosperity teachers, and there's many different ideas about prosperity consciousness and how we can bring more of it into our lives. And some of those ideas include aligning, right? Aligning with the presence of the divine, attracting, receiving, giving, gratitude, generosity, tithing, creating goals, and forgiveness, to name just a few of the ideas that are around about bringing more prosperity into your lives. Today, I'm called to talk about tithing. Now, this is a conversation that we've had a number of times here, at least probably once a year. But I think that it really behooves us all to have it again and again and again, because what I know is that it is the spiritual practice that most of us have some resistance around. So this morning I'm sharing some ideas around a Bible verse, and that Bible verse is in Malachi, Malachi 3, verse 10. And it says, "Bring ye all the tithes into the storehouse, that there may be meat in mine house, and prove me now herewith, saith the Lord. If I will not open the windows of heaven and pour out a blessing so great that you won't have room enough to take it in." Woo! So my intention is to look at this verse in two different ways. One is from a more traditional religious viewpoint, and one is from a more metaphysical viewpoint. So the word tithe means tenth. And the ancient people felt that 10 was the magical number of increase. Eric Butterworth, in his book, In the Flow of Life, states, "We are forever in the presence of an infinite and eternal energy from which all things proceed. Thus, it is never for lack of life, substance, intelligence, or love that we experience difficulties, but because we are out of the flow of life. And one of the most effective ways of getting back into the flow is through giving. We may have been thinking lack, thinking get, or the need to get. Now we must think give. Now we must think give. So in Malachi it says, "Prove me now." It is a call to action, and that action is to tithe. That action is to give. And the verse promises that if we do, heaven will pour out a blessing so great that we will not have room enough to take it all in. Doesn't that sound wonderful? Edwene Gaines, in her book, The Four Spiritual Laws of Prosperity, clearly states this particular spiritual law when she says, you must tithe 10% of all you receive to the person, place, or institution where you have received your spiritual food. 10% of all you receive. This includes all financial income, salaries, bonuses, interest earned, monetary gifts, dividends, proceeds from the sale of a house, and the money that we win, inherit, or find on the street. To the person, place, or institution where we have received our spiritual food. Now, spiritual food is that which inspires us, that which teaches us, that which reminds us of the truth and causes us to remember who we are, causes us to be aware of our innate divinity that is within us. Now, the promise is that if we tithe, we prove God in our lives, and the windows of heaven open up for us. Tithing is an opportunity to thank God. To thank God. Its purpose is to acknowledge that God is the invisible source back of everything that there is the source of our good, and that we are aware and grateful for all of the good that we have in our lives. Thank you very much, Miles and Letha. For some of us, this might seem like an incredible stretch. But Edwene Gaines is quite clear, even pretty adamant, if you've ever met her. Very adamant, I would say, about the subject. She says that we can't just talk about it, we can't just read about it, we actually have to do it in our lives, even when we are afraid. Even when we are afraid, she encourages us not to trust her, but to trust God. To trust God. What will happen after we have been tithing for a little while is that supply will start to come in from all kinds of different places, places that we had never even imagined that it will come from. All of a sudden there's an envelope in your mailbox, and it's from somebody from 20 years ago that owed you some money that you hadn't even thought about for the last 19. And the income will just keep increasing. An energy of excitement will seep in as we begin to find ourselves eagerly anticipating some more money coming in so that we can give some more out. When a person commits to tithing, something within them changes from that moment on. Something within them changes. Now, conditions and circumstances in your life may not immediately begin to change, but something within us, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, changes, and that can work wonders because, right, remember, we live our lives from the inside out. So if something within us shifts, then our outer life is going to shift. It's the way that it works. On that we can count. The truth is that faith expands when we give. The more we give, the more faith that we will have. And once we've been tithing for a few months, we have to prepare to receive all the good that is coming into our lives. Dare to claim that good without reservation. It is our birthright. It is our birthright, and each of us is worthy of all that we can accept, of all that we can receive. Remember that faith is a choice. We can choose whether to have faith or not. We can choose to believe in the law of tithing or not. We can choose to believe that God is our source or not. Think about it. Have you ever really looked at our money, and do you think that it's any kind of coincidence that on every single denomination of our money it says, "In God we trust"? In God we trust. If we look back at the Bible, specifically at the New Testament, we see that Jesus doesn't ever really talk about tithing. But instead, he talks and teaches about giving. About giving. He said, "Give, and it shall be given unto you, good measure, pressed down and shaken together and running over. For with the same measure that ye mete, it shall be measured to you again." In giving, we're not giving anything away. We're giving way to the flow of God, to the flow of good through and as us. When we give, we are saying yes to life. Yes. While the emphasis on tithing in the strictest sense is about how much we are giving and whom we are giving to, the most important thing about giving in general is what space, what energy are you giving from? Are we giving from a consciousness of lack and limitation and fear, or are we giving from a consciousness that knows that the universe is abundant and that it is God's good pleasure to give us the kingdom of heaven on earth? When our inner state does not allow for ease and flow, it's impossible to experience prosperity or abundance in our lives. When we give from an inner state that is really steeped in God's awareness, aligned with the flow of life, giving and receiving are the same. The giver is blessed, the receiver is blessed. The blessing and the blessed are one and the same. This brings me back to Malachi 3:10. Remember, it says, "Bring ye all the tithes into the storehouse, that there may be meat in mine house. And prove me now herewith, saith the Lord." Prove me now, saith the Lord. On one hand, the verse has been taken quite literally to mean the tithing of money from our bounty or from the harvest, 10% of all that comes into our lives. And the invitation is to try it and to let God prove it to us. To let God prove it to us. This morning, on the other hand, I want to take a moment to invite us to look at this idea from a more metaphysical viewpoint. Prove me now, saith the Lord. Metaphysically, Lord means the law. Prove me now is the demonstration of the way that it works. The creative power of God on the macro level and the creative power of each and every single one of us on the micro level. It's a call to action, a call to demonstrate the law of cause and effect, a call to demonstrate the law of attraction. Think of the storehouse really as the subjective consciousness, the undifferentiated substance from which all things come from. What we put into the storehouse of our consciousness is what we shall reap. Way back in ancient times, when a farmer would tithe, he would put 10% of the harvest back into the soil. And that farmer knew that what he sowed, he would reap, nothing more and nothing less. The farmer even took great care to really clean the seeds. So nothing but the seeds that he wanted to be in the storehouse would be in the storehouse. Just those seeds. He was mindful that anything that was in the storehouse would ultimately end up in the soil. And he wanted it to be as pure as possible. When he took great care in that way, if he sowed wheat, he would reap wheat. If he sowed corn, he would reap corn. And so it is with us. And so it is with us and our use of the creative process, our use of the law. The whole tithe that we place into the storehouse really includes our thoughts, our beliefs, our time, our talent, our love, our peace, our joy, our compassion, and yes, our treasure. But it includes all of it. What we place in the storehouse, the soil of the creative process, is what we shall reap. If you want more love in your life, you have to be more loving. If you want more peace in your life, you have to be more peaceful. Whatever is in that storehouse is what we are going to experience in our lives. The invitation is to be mindful, just like the farmers, of just what we are placing into that storehouse. Be mindful. Put only those thoughts, those ideas and attitudes that we want to experience, because the law works with mechanical regularity for everyone, all of the time, with no exceptions. It cannot say yes to some seeds and no to others. It can only say yes. So be mindful of what you are asking it to say yes to. When your consciousness is filled with thoughts and beliefs and attitudes of lack and limitation, then your experience is going to be one of lack and limitation. If the thoughts and beliefs and attitudes that we put into that storehouse are one of prosperity and abundance, then the experience of your life is going to be one of prosperity and abundance. That is just the way that it works. Metaphysically, this Bible verse can be a call to action, an opportunity to prove the creative law in our lives, and as it goes on to say in Malachi 3:10, if I will not open the windows of heaven and pour out a blessing so great that you won't have enough room to really take it all in. So however we look at this idea of tithing, putting God first in the matter of our finances, trusting that we live in an abundant universe, rendering a 10% portion of that which in truth is already God's back to God, knowing that we cannot outgive God or standing firmly grounded in the way that the law works, that as it is given, so shall it be received, that as we sow, so shall we reap, and that whatever we place into the storehouse of our consciousness will become the experience of our lives, and to know beyond a shadow of a doubt that we have a choice in the matter. The invitation is to tithe consciously, mindfully, with faith, with love, with joy, with gratitude, and full expectation that a blessing will be poured unto us. And so it is, saith the Lord. Amen. 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 Thank you all so very much. I just invite you to turn within for a moment of prayer to really anchor this message in a moment of truth. As I close my outer eyes, I am acutely aware of that power and presence that is within me and surrounding me. I know that it is there. I know that it is present. I know that it is available. I know that it is the presence of love, the presence of abundance, the presence of prosperity, the presence of wisdom, the presence of peace, all things good. I know that I am one with it, created by it in its image and likeness. I know that right where I am, God is in its fullness and in its wholeness. That I don't have to go looking for it. It is right here within me and surrounding me. Individually and collectively, we are one with it. And because of that, we are connected to life itself and to each other in ways that can never, ever be broken. And it is from that place of unity that I know that we are spiritual beings having a human incarnation, and that we can hold that paradox of being both in this world and outside of this world as one truth. That it doesn't have to be either or, that we can hold it all. We can hold and know the truth that God is our source, even though we might not be experiencing that in our lives in that moment, but that as we let go of any resistance that we might have, as we let go of any seeds that might not represent the truth of who we are, as we let go of any beliefs that we might have that are no longer serving us, that we align ourselves with that truth, allowing that flow to flow through and as us, and therefore experience the windows of heaven opening up and a blessing being poured onto us that we can't even hardly begin to accept. I know that this is the way that it works. I know that each of us can experience ease and grace around this idea that prosperity is our birthright. It is the truth of who we are. And that as we let go of anything that is getting in the way of experiencing that, that will be our experience. And I'm so grateful to know this truth and to speak these words. So grateful for the power of prayer, knowing that these words are loosed into a law that only ever says yes. That my words are loosed into that law, and I do so with love and gratitude and full expectation of their manifestation, letting go and letting God be God. I invite each and every one of us to anchor this prayer for ourselves, for each other, for our community, and for the world, simply by saying, and so it is. And so it is. Amen. Amen. So it is now time for our conscious giving. The Triangle Center for Spiritual Living is sustained by the giving of our time, talent, and treasure. This is a time every week when we offer financial support to assist this community to continue to be a beacon of light and love in the Greater Triangle area. Together we affirm the truth that this offering lifts this spiritual community, prospers the one giving, and actually adds to the energy of sufficiency on the planet. So in this moment, I just invite you to take a look here on our slides or on your screen at home, and to know that there are several ways that you can give. Visit our website at www.trianglecsl.org, or you can text the word GIVE to the following number, 919-230-8445, or you can actually mail your gift to our office at PO Box 4062, Cary, North Carolina, 27519. In this moment, I invite everyone to take your gift, place it, your hand over your heart, and to just speak a silent affirmation for yourself or for your families or for this community or for the world. And we will say our affirmation in a call and response. Please repeat after me. I live in an abundant universe that blesses and prospers my life. I give with gratitude, knowing that God is my source. And so it is. And so it is. Thank you all so very much for your generosity. And now, please be generous as you welcome Miles and Letha back up to the stage.
So, by the way, Prosperity Blues was written after we spent a weekend with Edwin, like, I don't know, 30 years ago? No, 20 years ago? Yeah. It was fun, intense.
You were 6?
That's nice, Dusty. About some broad highway out there, when the music from the carillon seemed to hold your heart out there, past the scientific darkness, beneath the fireflies that float, human nature blending down to wrap you in her warmest cloak. And you ask, what am I not doing? Because your voice cannot command. She says in time you will move mountains, and it will come through your hands. Still you angle for an option, and you argue for your case, like you would not know a burning bush if it blew up in your face. We dream about the future, we memorize the past, when just a simple reaching out will build a bridge that lasts. And you ask, what am I not doing? She says your voice cannot
I've never heard that song. That was fabulous.
We did not write that one.
Well, beautifully performed. If anyone would like prayer, please go to our website at trianglecsl.org. On the home page, there's a button in the upper right-hand corner. Click on that button and fill in the request form. We'll get that prayer and send it out to all the ministers and the practitioners, and be prepared for a wonderful demonstration. If you would like to dedicate a flower dedication, like the beautiful one today, to anyone for anything, please contact Heather Abbott at info@trianglecsl.org or Reverend Dusty at dustyrippelmeyer@yahoo.com. And in the comfort of your own home. There's always something funny. The pages stuck together. I'm like, I know we're not at the end. Where's the other page? In the comfort of your own home, please stand for our October affirmation or here. This is a call and response. Please repeat it with meaning. I am very clear that I am a spiritual being.
I am very clear that I am a spiritual being.
I am also very clear that I am living a human experience.
I am also very clear that I am living a human experience.
Both perspectives are needed in my life.
Both perspectives are needed in my life.
If I'm so focused on oneness, I may miss the opportunity to embrace the totality of my humanity.
If I am so focused on oneness, I may miss the opportunity to embrace the totality of my humanity.
If I'm so caught up in the suffering and challenges of the world, I may miss out on the joy of my divinity.
If I am so caught up in the suffering and challenges of the world, I may miss out on the joy of my divinity.
Therefore, I am curious and open to possibility as I explore the various paradoxes in my life.
Therefore, I am curious and open to possibility as I explore the various paradoxes in my life.
Realizing the truth that there is no separation allows me to open my mind to a greater understanding of the world.
Realizing the truth that there is no separation allows me to open my mind to a greater understanding of the world.
Embracing the genius of "and" thinking, I know that my journey is both good and hard, playful and serious, necessary and optional, and that all is well.
Embracing the genius of and thinking, I know that my journey is both good and hard, playful and serious, necessary and optional, and that all is well.
And so it is. And now, amen. I invite you to turn within one more time. You can sit if you want to. I'll do a benediction. In this moment, I'm so grateful to recognize once again the presence of the oneness of Spirit in, as, and through each of us. And I'm grateful to know that what we shared this morning, it has enriched our lives, has enriched our consciousnesses, has allowed us to expand ourselves as spiritual and as human beings, and that we're more open at the top than ever before. And so I'm grateful that we bring this love, this expression, and this experience out into our world, and that we bless our communities and our families with it. And I know that all is in divine right order, and so it is.
Thank you all so very much for joining us today. It was really wonderful to have you here. Great to see some new faces in the sanctuary today, so thank you very much. Have an amazing week, and we'll see you soon. I love you all.